Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment where we love pop culture. Today it's time for another Married with Children episode review. Now I feel like when watching TV back in the 90s, there were a lot of trends when it came to television commercials, but I don't think any were bigger, at least for a bit of time, than the telephone hotlines. And honestly, you can get a hotline to call and ask about anything, whether it was wrestling, music, a psychic hotline, and especially adult entertainment. Now Al, he's gonna get in on this trend as I take a look at episode 8 from season 4 called 976 Shoo. Now after the Bundys get all their credit cards canceled for maxing them out and Al having a stack of bills that include phone calls to the Lust and Heavy Metal hotline, Al is going to come up with yet another bright idea that if he had just a dime for every time somebody asked him shoe advice, he'd be rich. That is of course unless he gets a notice in the mail saying that he owes Ed McMahon $10 million. Now, of course, it's going to take funds that Al doesn't have in order to start up this shoe hotline. So he's going to go to Steve's bank and try to get a loan. Now, at first, Steve is going to tell him that nobody would ever finance such an idea as a shoe hotline. Now, there is a competition going on at Steve's bank with a trip to Hawaii on the line. And there's another banker that's about to win this competition. So Steve is going to forego his instincts and he's going to lend Al that money. But instead of giving Al the $18,000 that he thinks he needs to start up the shoe hotline, Steve, he's going to lend him $50,000 instead. Now we are going to find out that Steve, he's approved a few loans that have gone bad this particular year. Well, actually 40 of them. And of course, the bank president, he's not very happy. And he's going to tell Steve, if this Bundy loan goes sour, well, he's going to be out of a job. Now Al is going to take that $50,000 and not only buy some extra phone lines for his shoe hotline, but he's also going to invest in making these pretty awesome commercials. Now unfortunately on the first night, Al, he doesn't get any calls, but he is very confident that while he got no phone calls today, tomorrow he'll get twice as many. Now seeing that this loan is going to go right down the toilet and Al can never pay back this money, Marcy is actually going to lend Al another $50,000 so that he can pay Steve back so that he won't lose his job, because Marcy feels like, yes, she knows Al will never pay him back, but she has an impeccable lending record and she can afford writing one bad loan. Now, of course, Al has no intention of repaying back Steve, and he's going to take that $50,000 that he got from Marcy, and he's going to reinvest it in his shoe line, because he's not going down owing $50,000. He's going to go down owing $100,000. Now, what exactly is Al going to do with this money? Well, he's going to make more commercials, of course, which actually only get funnier as they reach of desperation. Now when Marcy finds out that Al has been squandering all her money away and that nobody is ever going to call this shoe hotline in a million years, let's just say she's not very happy. Now Steve will end up losing his job. Marcy, she's going to be demoted to bank window teller. And as far as Al goes, well, the judge is going to tell him that he is going to have to pay back that $100,000. So that by the year 2157, guess what? That's when Al can retire. Actually not, because that's when he has to start paying back his unpaid parking tickets. Now the episode 976 show, it just doesn't deserve to get a 10 out of 10, but it also deserves to get my number 33 Seal of Greatness award, making this only the second episode I've ever given this award to. Now there are just a ton of funny moments here in this episode, with some of them actually coming from Marcy, where she explains the bad loan that Steve gave out as you don't give a gun to a chimp and then the chimp shoots someone, you don't blame the chimp. Plus, I also really like it when she puts her foot down and she tells Steve to come home and service her, and God help him if he screws that up. Now, while those are great lines, still the funniest moments here in this episode are with Al and his TV commercial, and my favorite line being when he says, "Hey kids, you don't even need your parents' permission in order to call the shoe hotline. It'll just be our little secret. Definitely going contradictory to everything that was in those 976 commercials back in the days. Now, what are your thoughts on the episode 976 shoe, and what episodes of Married with Children would you like to see me review here in the future? Comment down below. And guys, if you like these Married with Children episode reviews, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.